Welcome, and thank you for joining us for our program today on the ever-evolving access to experimental treatments, expanded access to medical tourism in Montana. I'm Vicki Norton, a partner in Duane Morris's intellectual property group, where I specialize in biotechnology patent strategy and due diligence. I've also advised clients on issues relating to obtaining compassionate use access to experimental treatments and the development of right to try laws. I'm joined today by my colleague, Brandon Chan. Brandon.
Hi, I'm Brandon Chan. I am a senior associate in the intellectual property practice group at Duane Morris. My practice primarily focuses on patent prosecution and counseling, primarily in the chemical and biotechnology technology space. I am currently serve as an associate liaison within the life sciences industry group at the firm.
Turning to our agenda for today, we'll begin with a discussion of the various avenues of access to experimental treatments. We'll then discuss the background of each of those avenues, including the background and history of right to try laws. Next, we'll talk about the evolution of right to try laws in Montana. And finally, we'll go into more depth on Montana's Senate Bill 535 and the impact of that bill. Turning first to the various avenues of access to experimental treatments in the US, we have this summary chart of essentially 4 different approaches that patients can use to try to gain access to experimental treatments in the US. Those 4 avenues are FDA's formal clinical trials, FDA's own expanded access compassionate use program for obtaining access to experimental treatments outside of a clinical trial, the federal right to try law, and state right to try laws. We'll be going into more depth about each of these areas, so this is an overview, but these different avenues vary with respect to who is eligible, that is, what type of condition a patient has to have or what eligibility criteria the patient needs to make in order to seek access under one of these pathways. They also vary with respect to the type of drugs that are eligible, or when can the patients gain access vis-a-vis what stage of clinical trials is that drug currently involved in FDA's formal program. They also differ with respect to the oversight and who must provide access or permission for the patient to gain the access. These vary with respect